Happening fellas, Crazy Brit here, and we're back with some more action from the MRC boys. This time it is round 5 of the GTTCC Season 22, and this is race 1. It's going to be from the new track that was recently added, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve Canadian F1 track. So, without further ado, before we get to the going through the grid, we've got a short little message for everyone who's watching. MRC legend Leslie Harrington has been sadly been diagnosed with prostate cancer. I just thought I'd mention a little message that he wants everyone to get checked. Obviously, prostate cancer is a hidden killer in men. So even if you haven't got any symptoms, please get checked. You know, it's very important that you do that. Just to be better. It's better to be safe than sorry. Obviously, last night we held a race for Les and obviously to create awareness for prostate cancer. So, as I say, please do get checked. You know, it's very important. But we extend our thoughts and prayers to Les. Hopefully, his treatment goes off without a hitch and has many more races around the Nordschleife where he is king. So, without further ado, let's run you through the grid and get the action underway. So, in first, after 10 minutes of qualifying, it is Scotty Boy lined up in first in the Scirocco. Then in second, we have Big Kev in the Jag. Then in third, it's Scott in the Corvette. Dimpy lines up in fourth in the Swifty. Then in fifth position, it's Gary in the Audi. Then we have sixth is James in the Swift. Seventh is Benji in the Toyota. Then Bogger lines up in eighth in another Scirocco. Shortsky is in ninth with the Swift. And there's Surfer in the Mercedes. Beautiful car up in 10th. Then we have Fast JMS who's switched to the Swift. He's in 11th. And then in 12th we have Busby Boy in the Mazda. So we'll go back up to the front, get these guys underway. We'll see if we can have a clean start to race 1 of round 5. Here we go, lights are out and away we go. There's Scott, gets a lightning start off the grid then. Up into first from third position. Nice start from Scott there. We'll put the full race information on in a little minute. But you can see Dimping there on the inside. Nice camera angle as well from this track. I love that for the first corner there. Leading into the second. We've got the pit exit there as well as we head into the first chicane then. We're going to watch the wall on the outside there. As we come way through the corner cleanly. There's Big Kev in second there. Now coming through the little left-hander here that leads into a right-hander. You've got to be careful there. Don't cut the curb too much. You've got to watch that wall on the exit as Bogger has a little bit of a kiss there with the wall. As I see, we're watching Bogger, Scotty Boy right behind Dimpy as we head into the next chicane. You've got to be careful, the sausage curbs here. Careful of that exit as well. You will get a penalty if you run wide. As we go now down at this straight, which isn't kind of, but it's got a little bit of a kink in it, until the hairpin where Kubica had his big accident in the BMW F1 team. You can see there, James gets a lovely inside manoeuvre there as Gary sends it in a little bit deep. The Scotty Boy there in fifth, being affected by that move from Gary. To the top front now, creating a gap now to fourth position as we head now down the back straight towards the chicane at the end of the track. You're going to watch the wall of champions on the exit. Looks like we get away all cleanly. There's Gary into the World Champions. That's what I'm on about. Just a little bit of a clip there. We'll put the race information on now. And we'll have a look at the top few. So you can see Scott there. Dimpy's gone for another take on Kev. Very nicely done there. Dimpy now coming through, trying to get Scott then. Big Kev's there in third. Fourth is Scotty Boy right behind his guys. Then we've got Boggett in fifth. James right behind him in sixth if we go through the first chicane there. Seventh is Benji in the Toyota. Surfer's in eighth, but he's got half a second penalty. Busby's there in ninth, right behind him. Gary's slowed down to 10th. And there's Shortsky in 11th with Flash JMS in 12th. But back up to the front then, Scott still in the way. A little bit of a grass cut in there. Runs wide off the corner. But leading the way down as we come now under the bridge and into the tricky chicane. As there, yep, there he goes, Dimpy. So Dimpy runs wide, gets his braking a little bit wrong there. And is that going to be half a second penalty for him? It certainly is. So Dimpy from second then is going to have to concede this position. The penalty line is just around this corner, down the back straight. A little bit of close overtake there, but Dimpy covers that inside line off from Kev. Obviously attempted the overtake into the massive braking zone. He's got his indicator on, signalling his turn to the right. He's going to slow down. It's going to cost him one, maybe two positions here. And see, now we're going three abreast briefly as, yep, he loses three positions then. So Big Kev, Scotty and Bugger all past him, but now it's going to get interesting. You can see the bouncing of the curves from Scotty Boy there. That's going to cost him speed as we now go 3-2 abreast into turn one. Close to the pit wall as we get there. Heavy braking then into turn one. Side by side between these guys. Oh, a little bit of a touch there from Bugger and Scotty Boy as well. Now Dimpy trying to close the gap, close the door to Bugger. Doesn't want it to get a look in there as we come through the chicane. A little bit of a touch there for the wall. Nice stuff from these guys. Right behind him is Dimpy. Oh, looked like a little bit of a touch on the back end there for Dimpy on Scotty Boy. Another little touch there as Scotty Boy just lines himself up through the corner. We have got contact on the wall. Who's that? Benji, Busby Boy. Let's just see what happens here though. So Dimpy still following through. Oh, is that going to be another half a second for him there? That looked a bit close. I'll see if that is going to be a penalty. No, it's not, as we come down to the hairpin then for the third time. Bugger down on the inside. Nice deep dive. Gets that overtake done. Lovely stuff from him there. So Bugger now then back up into fourth. Dimpy back down to fifth. This battle is going to be probably a good battle for the next few laps, I would say. If not most of the race. And you see Scott there leading the way, creating that gap now to Gev in second. Coming through the chicane. Oh, easy on the curbs there, Dimpy. Gets it sideways onto two wheels. We've got a penalty for Scotty Boy there. Must have just gone a bit too... abuse the track limits a bit too much on the chicane there. But Dimpy coming through then. You can see Scotty Boy there running a little bit wide on the grass. There's half a second. He will have to save that at the end of this lap. As we come through the chicane, watch the wall there, boys. You can see James right behind Dimpy as well. Now coming through left-hander, there is a gap on the inside. Scotty Boy shuts the door. Great defending from Scotty Boy there. But three abreast now. Let's see what happens into this next corner. So Dimpy's going to the left-hand side. Oh, cuts to the right. Can he get this overtake done? Very nice selling the dummy there. Great opportunity. Lovely overtake into that corner. There's a bit of a side-by-side door bang from Scotty Boy and James there as we now head into the hairpin. So this gap, there's going to be many more overtakes through these guys. Obviously Scotty Boy's going to lose that position to James, so we're going to run through the field as that happens. So we've got Benji there in 7th, in just on his own at the minute. And we have Busby Boy defending 8th position from Gary in 9th. In the Audi there's Shortsky. He's got a half second penalty to serve now as well. Fast JMS, sorry. Shortsky goes through and Surfer unfortunately is down in 12th. Not sure whether that's through incidents or through penalties. Oh, back up to the front then. We have Scott leading the way in first. Fastest man on track. No, he's not, because Bugger just put in over 44.9. There's Big Kev in second. Then we have Bugger in third, defending from Dimpy in fourth. There's James in fifth. Getting that position on Scotty Boy after he saved his penalty. But he's right behind him. Then we have Benji there in 7th, starting to close that gap a little bit now. Busby Boy in 8th position, still defending from Gary as we come through the chicane here. Very nicely done through there, guys. Then we have Shortsky in 10th after getting that position from Flash JMS from his penalty. And then Surfer there in 12th. Let's see if he can close that gap to these guys. But back up to the front then. Scott still leading the way, but he's slowly getting caught by 2nd position now. Big Kev starting to close that gap down. As you probably will notice on some of the cars, most of the cars, that we do have the decals for Les. They keep fighting Les and get checked, and the prostate blue ribbon for prostate cancer. So very well done, guys. We always support charities and people in need as well, especially if we're part of the MRC. We look after our own. Well, you can see Boggers attempting to go for an overtake now. This could be tricky into the chicane. You've got to be careful, guys. Very well done. That's how you do it. Oh, as Dimpy gets a little bit wrong into the World Champions he goes. Unfortunate for him. That's going to put him under pressure now from Scotty Boy. Just gets the took too much sausage curb there, bounced him all across the track. Got to be careful of those orange curbs, they can be lethal. As you see Bogger then up into 2nd now after overtaking him through the chicane. But top 3 isn't concrete until the final lap, until the final corner. Anything can happen from here on out as we fastly approach the 10-minute mark of this 30-minute race. As he's just coming through now, settled down for the top 3 at the minute. A little bit of a grass touching for Bogger there. Scotty Boy there now up into 4th. Then we've got James now coming under fire, having a battle with Dimpy. Is Dimpy going to go for the overtake here? He's on the inside. Oh, a little bit of a contact there. Unfortunate. I think Dimpy got on the curb again. Just unsettles the car, but no serious harm done there. No damage for either of them. They're both running soft tyres as well, so we'll see how this one plays out, but this should probably be a race-long battle for these two. And back down to 7th then with Benji. Then we've got Shortsky in 8th, trying to close that gap to Benji now. Then we've got Busby Boy now down to 9th, still defending from Gary behind him. A little bit of a gap there. And we've got Flash JMS in 11th, and their Surfer starting to catch up now in 12th position. Back up to the front. Scott leading the way still, but he's getting caught by Bogger now. Bogger's getting really close now. Under braking into turn 1 and turn 2. Keep it on the inside for turn 2. Use the exit. Oh, a little bit of oversteer there, kicking out the back end as he accelerates out of turn 2. Now down to turn 3. Into the chicane we go. Ooh, don't touch that wall. Coming through here, you got to try and hug that wall as best as you can. Get your best line for this corner here. Runs a little bit deep there onto the curb, but that's going to make him suffer from momentum. But there's Bogger hitting the wall, and that saved him there. As we now come down this little straight here, under the bridge we go into the next chicane. Again, be careful of that runoff area there. You will get a penalty. He'll come out the exit, down the straight to the hairpin, through the kink. Now he goes massively defensive, covers that inside line, but can Bugger get the outside pass on him? As you can see, it goes through the corner. He's there, he's got it. Side by side, down the straight. Can he get the move sealed? He does. Bugger up into 1st then. Now, can he defend from him, or is he going to come back? He's thinking about it. Scott side by side with him now. And he decides to back out there at the last minute. Brakes first. As Bugger slightly kisses the wall there. There's Big Kev in 3rd, just licking his lips. Wants these guys to battle. But Scott is a long-time racer, so he knows, play it safe. Don't slow down too much. There's Big Kev there, runs on the grass. Now we're coming through the chicane again on lap 8. Getting close to the wall there. Now coming through the right-hander. I think this gap has neutered itself for the time being. But we'll see what happens here, because they keep getting into this wall and the exit there. That is going to slow them down lap after lap after lap. But you can see Scott, is he going to attempt an overtake here? No, he just gets close into the braking zone. Watch that curb. Now we go down to the hairpin. Is Scott thinking about lunch here? He can close up a lot of distance on the brakes. Gets into the hairpin. Can he get that nice line out of it? Straight line speed. Oh, Bogger's got that position still. So we'll run through the grid. So there's Big Kevin third. Scotty Boy there in fourth. Trying to close that gap to him. But the Jag looks very strong down here. Dimpy there in fifth then. He's had a battle. Still battling with James, who's in sixth. Right behind him. These two look like they're going to go side by side for the chicane. Wing mirrors almost touching. Very nice pass there from James as we go into the chicane. Keeps it out of the World Champions this time. So James now up into fifth. Got that position. Oh, a little bit of a side-by-side bounce from the Swift there. Gets a little bit scrappy on turn 2, but it's still there. Couple of attempts between these two. Not sure if that's going to be a penalty or not. That looked a little bit of a cut there, but maybe allowed in the track limits. As we now come up the hill through the left-hander, through the right-hander we go. Now down the little straight. Dimpy then still trying to close the gap to James in front. As we come through the chicane there, a little bit of a hop on the curb, but no harm, no done. Now down to the hairpin we go. Ooh, I can hear tyre screeching. Very nicely done from these guys. So back it down to 7th. Then we've got Benji still in 7th on his own. Gary has got a second penalty, unfortunately, so that's going to be a big one for him. There's Shortsky right behind in 9th. Busby now down to 10th in the Mazda. There's JMS in 11th. He's got half a second, and Surfer's there in 12th. So he's going to be able to get some ground up on these guys who's got penalties. Let's see where Gary's going to be. He's going to lose 8th position to Shortsky there as we come through the chicane. Gets that back end love. Oh, he gets another half a second as well. So suffering from penalties at the minute. Here's Garrett. There's Busby in 10th. So just watch these guys come through to complete lap 9. Back up to the front, and Bogger's got half a second penalty. So this could be big for that race victory. As he now comes through the right-hander. You see another little bit of a touch of the wall. There's a Bogger, Scott in second. Then we have Kev right behind him, who's got Scotty Boy right behind him. Then we've got James, and Dimpy is behind him as well. So a couple of battles on track at the minute. Just got to keep our eyes everywhere. Come through the hairpin. Scotty there, still in 4th, right behind Kev, but it's starting to close up now between these guys. Bogger's going to serve his penalty now. Opting to stay on the left side of the track. think he's got enough gap. You can see Scotty and Kev there going at it side by side as we come now down to the chicane at the end of the lap. Scotty boy just covering off that. Oh, a little bit of touch of wall in the wall of champions. His engineers aren't going to be happy with him scraping all the right side of that car up. As we come now into turn 1, then turn 2. Up the little hill we go. Still holding on to that third position at the minute. Now coming through the first chicane. Keeping out of the red wall there. Through the right hander there. Now through the next set of corners. Got to get a good exit off this corner. Try and keep it out of the wall and out the grass. Down the straight we go. Now through the chicane. Oh, gets a little bit of runoff area there. Gets a little bit into the wall. That's going to give Kev the advantage now. But Kev's on the outside for this hairpin. Can he make the outside pass work? Boggers, so Scotty boy's going to defend that. Can he get a switch back? He tries. Doesn't really get it done. Well, these guys now, the battle's hotting up. So Scotty boy there in third, in between Scott and Big Kev. This has now come to complete lap 11. On to lap 12 we go, almost 20 minutes into the race. Scotty boy going for a lunge on the corner. Oh, managed to keep no contact there. Good stuff. They thought about it, as you can see. James and Dimpy going side by side behind. Still battling. 20 minutes into the race. Good stuff from these guys. And Dimpy gets that position back. Top 5 over James. Can James come back at him? Good little scrap at the minute for these guys. See the lovely bay area there. The city of Montreal. Now coming through the next chicane. Again, gotta be careful that runoff area. Do not get a penalty. It will still make you suffer down the long back straight. This gap has now extended. Battle over for the time being. No changes for the top few in second, third and fourth. Bogart still leading the way. And then in 7th we've got Benji still on his own. But we've got Sharksky, Gary there behind him. Sharksky defending that 8th position from Gary now. There's Busby in 10th trying to close that gap to them. Flash JMS in 11th still. And there's Surfer still in 12th. Merck not really liking this track it seems. But back up to the front then. A lovely camera angle for these guys in at the top positions. There's Scotty boy leading the way in second now, closing that, opening that gap to Scott in third. He's got a half a second penalty, so if Kev can stay right behind him, if not overtake him, he's going to lose that position when he serves the penalty down the back straight. Let's see if Scott can keep his composure, try and open a little bit of a gap to Kev there. Corvette versus Jag. The Jag. Now come under this little bridge here and then into the chicane. Oh, what happened there? Oh, we got major contact. So let's just try and see what happened here. So it looks like, yeah, Scott didn't brake enough for that turn. And then Kev, what happened to Kev here? Yeah, so Scott just braked late there. And then, oh, Kev just got it on the curb there, decided to exit stage right, gets into the wall. Unfortunate for him there. He was having a great race for 4th and 3rd. Very unfortunate for him there. That's going to put Dimpy into 3rd then. Scott still struggling with the brakes there. Wonder if he's got a wheel issue maybe. I'm not sure, but yeah, it looks like he's having a malfunction then with the wheel. He's only in 2nd gear. Can't change up here. This is going to be a really bad case of bad luck for Scott there then. Still can't change up, stuck in 2nd gear. This is ultimately going to cost him the podium then. He's got it back now. Oh, he's switched it into auto drive while he has the malfunction. So auto drive does save you in this instance, but the auto drive AI runs at about a 50% lower speed than normal. So as you can see, he's braking really a lot in the corners here. The other guys have got to avoid him as he's trying to recycle the wheel. So misery for Scott then in the first race was looking good. Again, the other guys have got to watch him as is in auto drive. He's got the hazards on, so that should help him. But you can see the auto drive is a bit tricky. Fast JMS is going to get a position here. Oh, pings into Scott there. Scott's going to defend Busby Boy. Obviously, it's not Scott driving. So that's going to make Busby Boy have an issue as well there. Then. And then he gets back into 10th. Surfer's got half a second penalty, but should get Scott still. Oh, he's out of auto drive now. So he's got the wheel back. Let's see if he has any more issues. But that then is going to make. So we got James now up into 3rd after getting past Dimpy. I'm not sure if Dimpy had a half second penalty there or not. Obviously, Big Kev now back up into 5th after the chaos created by Scott's issue there. Obviously, not his fault, the AI. But that's going to make Benji up into 6th then. Gary's now up into 7th, followed by Shortsky in 8th. Flash JMS in 9th, coming under fire from Busby there. They're going to have a little battle here. Busby gets the position done into chicane. Surfer's now up into 11th, and Scott's down to 12th. He's going to pit. Obviously, he's either going to sit in the pit and see what went wrong, or he's going to take soft tyres and see if he can get a fast lap. But yeah, bad stroke or bad luck for him there. Let's see if we can get the wheel problems issues sorted before the next race. So back at the front, and Boggart in the last 5 minutes is leading the way in first position. Second is Scotty Boy. Let's see if we can hold on to that second position from here on out. There is a gap to 3rd, James in 3rd, who's then got Dimpy in 4th behind him, but Dimpy's got half a second penalty once again. So that 3rd position will be safe for the time being. So you see Dimpy serve that penalty, then that's going to give James the position of 3rd comfortably. But he is still right there, sorry. So anything could happen in the last couple of laps here. And then we'll go down to 5th position. There's Kev there, followed by Benji in 6th, just coming through the chicane at the end of the lap. 7th, Gary on his own now. There's Shortsky coming through, bouncing on the curbs as he goes through. Then we got Busby Boy still defending that 9th position from Fast JMS. Mazda versus Swift. And we have Surfer in 11th, and Scott is somewhere on track. So yeah, he's got fresh softs. Obviously, he's managed to fix the wheel issue there then. So let's see how he fares, if he can get that fast lap or not. But commiserations to Scott, he was having a good race before that happened. Oh, back up the front, Bogger still leading the way in the first position. Scotty Boy there in second, as off a second penalty. Now we'll have to see if this is going to hinder him. James is just there behind him, so there's a gap there. So he should be able to keep second. Let's see him coming down the back straight. He's going to serve that penalty. Oh, second penalty done and dusted. So let's see if he can keep it out of the track limits for the next 2 minutes. So goes through the chicane. Just hits the exit curve there. No dramas. James there likewise in third, followed by Dimpy there in fourth. Another half a second penalty. Oh, he's racking these penalties up into today. Just another track limits. To be fair, the track limit penalties on this track are a bit rubbish at the minute, but we'll see how this continues. So we're on lap 17 as we come through the through the first chicane. Dimpy still there. Then we have Kev in a 5th position. Just coming through the next corner right behind Dimpy. Then Benji in 6th there. And we have Gary in 7th coming through the chicane now. A little bit of a touch on the grass. Shortsky in 8th. Getting very closely acquainted with the wall there. Busby even more closely acquainted with the wall. A little bit of a kiss there in 9th. Followed by JMS in 10th. Is that going to hinder Busby's defence of 9th position? It's looking like JMS is getting a little bit racy behind him. So JMS there then trying to get onto the back of him here. Is he going to be able to get an overtake done? As we come through the chicane. The race is almost done and dusted, so we'll come back to this little battle in a minute. But Bogger is going to cross the line for another lap. Scotty Boy, is he going to get another lap? No, he's not. So Scotty Boy finishes in 2nd. James finishes in 3rd. Dimpy is going to come on to finish in 4th. Big Kev is going to come in and finish in 5th. Followed by Benji in 6th. There's Scott finishing in 12th, unfortunate for him. 6th for Benji. Gary coming now through the last corner. He's going to come home and finish in 7th position. Lovely stuff from him. There's Shortsky in 8th. You can see Busby and Flash JMS behind him. Yep, there's Busby in 9th. Going to finish in 9th position with JMS in 10th. Half second penalty there. Surfer's going to crash across the line. Finishing 11th. But we have a victory lap from Bogger in 1st. Fastest lap as fastest sector as well for him. Purple sector there as he comes through the hairpin. Can he get a new fastest lap? He is the fastest man on track with a 1:44.3. Let's see if we can get another one. As we come down at the main straight then. So overall a good race from everyone. A little bit of a penalty fest for some people and a little bit of touching from other people, but on the whole a very good race for everyone. Unlucky commiserations to Scott, who had the issue with the wheel, but Bogger's going to weave and come across the finish line in 1st position, so congrats to him. So if you did enjoy the commentary today, please like, maybe share and leave a comment. It does help the channel. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe for more MRC and other commentary action. But until next time, City.